Good evening, this is Christian with Tadlock Roofing. We are at 516 Downhall Drive. We're in the detached garage area. I want to talk about this for a little bit. Not a whole lot of wind damage, but a ton of granule depletion where the age of the roof is coming into factor, but also there's a little bit of wind damage, as you can see. These are double thick hip and ridge caps, Dura Ridge if you will, but you can see that they're underneath the shingle is still a shingle, which means you're not getting penetrated. However, on this particular garage, would add some ventilation. There's not any ventilation, as you can see, all the way around, which is deteriorating the shingles at a higher rate. And also the granule depletion is getting pretty slick up here. Granules are the top of the shingle, where they kind of act like a sunscreen and they'll wear themselves out. As we go over to the main house, not a whole lot of ventilation in this area. And by ventilation, what I mean is we need a vent somewhere to expel heat that's getting cooked underneath these shingles, because if you have soffit, you have hot air being pulled in and it's not having anywhere to expel, so it gets trapped and the shingles end up getting cooked, as you can tell, on both sides. That's what causes faster granule depletion and shorter lifespan. In this sense, you've got a heck of a lot of wind damage just on the front. What's starting to happen is the nail heads are starting to rust and the shingles are brittle, of course, on top, but that is water intrusion. Thank goodness you have what we call the ice and water barrier shield, because that will protect the decking for some time. As you can see, 4 areas, 5 right here, and then we're going to move on up to the top level. Again, with the hip caps being blown off, front slope, wind damage, not a whole lot on the back half. Did find one broken shingle, but in its brittle. Where is it? As you can see, the wind damage, but yet no rusty nail heads, which means it's fairly new. And most of these don't have actually rusty nail heads. I could just tell from the get-go that there was water sitting on those other ones. Back half, front slopes all have wind damage, hip damage, ridge damage, and you can see we've got field damage at the edge, as well as field damage on that and hip damage. Again, you did explain that you have drone pictures of the tower. I would appreciate those, just because I did not get on the far side of that. But I imagine if these slopes on these corners are affected so highly, that is definitely exposed to the highest point, and you must have damage there as well. Things to think about: repairs, I would say go with replacement over this, because you'd be replacing so much field. And another thing is, unless you have vaulted ceilings or spray foam insulation, I would consider putting a solar attic fan in this area to pull and draw heat out, as well as the garage. Even though it's not a livable situation, sometimes people do live in there, garage apartments. However, in this sense, you're just talking about longevity and strength for your best protection. Again, I look forward to sharing this video with you shortly, and I appreciate it. Thank you.